Namaste. Today I'm going to show you one of the techniques of timing events on the palm. There are more than 8 techniques, 8 basic techniques. There are hybrid techniques based on the orientation of the Pradhan Rekha, the size of the palm with respect to the length of the fingers, the shape of the palm, also the angle the thumb makes, the gaps here, these gaps, okay, and last but not least the length of the mercury finger, very important. Okay, these are some techniques and secrets. Many people don't tell this openly, but this is how it is done. What we should do is, this is one of the techniques. Remember, most of the times you will see that in most of the samudrik shastra books, the heart line, the headline, and the lifeline are drawn like this, like arcs. This is the standard way or the general orientation of the three pradhan rekha. These are the three pradhan rekha. They have to be curved. This is the standard form. Doesn't mean that if this is there, it's bad. No. Or if the headline is straight. No. That's not what I'm coming to. What I'm telling you is that the standard way these rekhas should be is this. Okay. Now there are many reasons why they are like this, that I'm not going to go into that. That's a long story. But coming to the point, here we are concentrating on the first technique, how to do the timing. I'm just going to show you how I do it. Actually, the palm should be straight. You should be able to see, look at this, you should be able to see these particular ridge, skin folds, or narika rekha. But if you can't see, just tell the person, sorry, I'm busy, I can't do anything. Because I've seen many people send palms, I just ignore them. I just zoom at the picture, I check if the picture is straight, and I zoom at it. If I don't find the apex, or if the skin folds or the narika rekha are not seen, bye bye, I don't want, because it's a headache. My eyes will burn out. There's no point wasting time. You see, this is what first thing you have to note. Just give them any excuse, tell them sorry. They will not be able to send. I've seen so many people, they can do 100 pics on Instagram, but they cannot take a proper palm picture. That's the worst part. Now, secondly, coming to the point, here you can see that the apex is clearly visible. It means the point, this line is very critical. Okay, that means what? It should pass through the apex. That's very important. Now, keep a note on, keep a watch on this part. Okay, the other part you have to note is that you draw, or you mark two lines like this: end of the Jupiter finger and end of the fold, the skin fold of the thumb. Measure it, take midway, drop the line straight. It has to be straight. Take a ruler, scale, what you call in India. In UK we call this as ruler. Okay, you draw a straight line from the apex. Draw a line that joins this. Now again, from here, from the periphery, it's okay. For the second and third, you can draw it from the middle here. Okay, so not middle, in fact from the gap. I'm not drawn it correctly. 1 second. This one and this one, roughly. Okay, but when you do it on the paper, it has to be perfect. Then what you do is, bring this down, join this. Okay, same thing. This particular thing has this point's reflection is here, roughly somewhere here. Done. We are done with the grid. This is the basic grid. Now comes the second part. What we will do is that from here, from this point, we have to go to this point. Draw a straight line. Then with a protractor, or if you can use a compass, you have to make a circle, roughly. It's not circle, sorry. Yeah, this is like a circle. Okay, this circle we will join like this. Now you know that this is the center of the circle and this is the radius, correct? So you don't have to worry about it. What you do is from this center join this. Okay, it has to be drawn with a ruler or scale. It has to be. I'm just drawing it freehand, it's not going to make sense, but I'm just going to tell you the technique. See this part, this is one arc. Now the same thing you have to repeat here at the end. So we have two arcs here. Then what you do is bisect this angle. No, not bisected well. Bisect this angle, is it? Yeah, it looks okay. This is bisected. So now at this point, at this point, and at this point, these are the three critical edges that you have marked. Okay, now depending on the, take your ruler, measure the lengths of each of them. You should be able to roughly see that this length and this length, either they are same or they are in a particular proportion. Find out the proportion, the ratio proportion, and these ratio proportions will be in the multiples of 7. That way you can use this particular technique to get the time periods. Okay, on the fate line, this is for the Shani Rekha, because I've assumed that the Shani Rekha is starting from here and ending like this straight, and I can mark the Shani Rekha. Where it cuts on the lifeline here doesn't necessarily show 35. Why the reason is, you have to draw another arc here, you have to draw another line here that forms an arc. The bisector of this arc will give you roughly the 36th edge on the lifeline. Now each of these arcs are very important, because it doesn't mean that the entire thing is 36. No, when the arc cuts the lifeline, it means 36. When it cuts the fate line, it means 35. When it cuts here, it means around 40. When it reaches here, if this is an apex, it means 34. Are you getting the point? So this is how things are derived. So this was a very basic technique that I showed you, but yes, there are many more techniques. This is just one of them. What I told you is that here in this palm, the principal pradhan rekha are curved, and that is the first criteria that I follow. Now you can also draw an arc here, semicircular arc, if you want. If you are good at it, you can innovate into it. Of course, I've not drawn it correctly. And then you can see that this particular point, you can use this particular arc and the radius to time events on the Chandra, that means moon. Again, you have to learn how to do it by practicing on hundreds of palms. I have done this on more than 500 palms. So I know when I see a palm what I need to, which technique I need to use. This is just the first technique that I am showing you. And once you master this technique, what you should do is to use the chart, check the Vimshottari Dasha. Now many people say that Lahiri True works. You yourself check and tell me whether Lahiri True works with everything, with all the charts. You will come to a conclusion which one works. I don't have to tell you anything, and why people get it wrong, why timing is so difficult with Vimshottari Dasha. You will realize when you do a timing on the palm. But the palm timing never goes wrong. That I can vouch, I can give you a guarantee. If you do this perfectly, if the diagram is done perfectly, you can never get it wrong. But what you can do then is that you can use this, backward integrate, go into the Vimshottari Dasha, or go into the Nadi Jupiter rounds. Actually, Jupiter rounds work very well with this. Superb. Of course, you have to manage it. I mean, you have to match it with the Vimshottari Dasha, because otherwise the astrologers won't be convinced, unfortunately. So you have to use Parashari Vimshottari Dasha to make it look convincing. Actually, you don't need it, but just because, to validate that you are an astrologer and all that. Actually, Nadi techniques work superb as far as timing is concerned. However, I'm just going to stop that part here and say that yes, you use Vimshottari Dasha to go back and check if things work. You have to use the Gochar. You will see that the Gochar matches perfectly with this. Okay, just I'm giving you a rough idea about this. So if you want to check if the lagna or the Vimshottari Dasha sequence or the degrees of the moon or whatever are wrong or right, you can use this technique, because you can say at 31 something happened, yes or no. He will say yes. Then you go back to the chart and see at 31 which Vimshottari Dasha was there. Sometimes it may not match, change it. You understand, like that. So you can go back and give a prediction which is stunning. Okay, so this was a simple and sweet and straightforward technique. However, it looks simple, but you have to be very accurate in your marking. You have to see that the palm is straight, the picture quality is good. Secondly, the shadows should not be on this palm. There are no shadows, so it becomes easier. Although there are some things in this palm, the color of the lines, this guy has put some haldi or something, so I was annoyed. It's not good, because some of these rekha get merged. We don't know what's going on here. So as you know, in Nadi you have to watch every single ridge line. How any twist or turn in the ridge line can mean something else. You see, it can mean that there is a problem or there is an event. For example, you see this is beautiful, fine. However, look at this part, there is an island. So if you zoom only, then you will realize. Now at what age is this island? I told you, I have shown you the technique for Chandra here. Similarly, there are other techniques here. Of course, I'll come back to that later, but I'm just giving you a rough idea. The apex here is the most important, because Jupiter is the pivot. If you are able to locate the apex, only then this technique will work. Secondly, the lines have to be curved. Only then this technique will work. That means the timing. So you have to first locate the apex, check if these rekhas are curved. If they are not curved, then there are some adjustments to be made that I cannot show you here in this video, because practically some things cannot be practically I cannot show some things, because I have to show it on the whiteboard, or actually practically only then you will understand, because palmistry is tricky. You cannot show everything on a screen. It's impossible. So because there are some projections on the palm, there's a 3-dimensional projection. I am showing you a 2-dimensional projection, so things would change. Anyways, I hope this video has given you an idea about how timing is done. One of the 8 techniques, in fact 9, one of the 8 techniques I've shown here. Thank you.